Morning folks, how are we all doing? Right, second review of the day. Funnily enough, I've just taken the 450 SRS out. That should be on my channel somewhere. And I'm now going to take out the CF Moto 650 NK 650 parallel twin. More for road bike, more my cup of tea. We shall see how we go. Like the SR, there are no rider modes. There are lots of electronic gizmos, including connectivity, so you can connect navigation and all sorts to it. You need a CF Moto app to do so. But yeah, probably worth it if you're into all the toys and stuff. So you can connect your phone and use it as a sat nav through the dash, through the TFT, should I say. Now this one, like the SR, you don't have rider modes, but you do have a selection of electronics. I'm not going to go through all the dash bits. A bit of mucky stuff on there. I'm not going to go through the dash now because they take far too long. Let's have a look at the TFT. Rather nice one too. Again, it takes a while to warm up. That's your dashboard. Oh, sorry, we do have modes on this one. You got Eco and Sport. And that adjusts the view on the TFT. I rather like that one. Usual information, fuel, temperature, everything. It's all on there. Lots of other gizmos. Your switch gears, your start buttons, kill switch, etc. Hazards, horn, indicator, or indicator horn. Headlights, high and low beam. I presume that's the pass light. That's your mode button. And this is to cycle through the information. Right. 650 twin sounds nice. Feels quite vibratory, I must admit. Tighten up my camera, ready. Noisy sod. Well, at least these are slightly more sensible mirrors than the SR. Okay, let's go have a little ride round, see what we can do, and this time hopefully we can use both cameras. I'll catch you in a bit. Toodles! Yep, we're recording. Alrighty folks, we're off ski. 650NX. Clearly an upright riding position. Very upright. I personally would roll the bars further forward because they're too far back for me. But it is a very much an upright riding position. Right, into neutral, easy. The clutch is quite heavy. In all fairness, that is quite a heavy clutch. Front brake is lovely. The foot pegs, pretty much in line with your hip, quite a reasonable height, not too high. But this is quite bumpy. Suspension on this is very stiff, so I've just noticed. Yeah, it feels a little bit of a cramped riding position, to be honest. Not a huge amount of room in the seat. It locks you in place. Now I'm only 5'6", but I am 15 stone, and I got 30-inch inside leg. And I will be honest, this bike does feel a little bit cramped. It feels quite small. It feels more like a 300 than a 650. Sounds right though. It is extremely revvy. Or sounds it. Yeah, fourth gear, 35 mile an hour, 3,500 RPM. Mirrors, ugly. I'm sorry, they're ugly. I don't like them, but they work really well. I can see clearly behind me, no issues there. It pulls well. That was fourth gear acceleration. Not bad at all. That front brake is really good. Back brake, typical back brake. It'll do to slow you down. Oop. Hang on. No quick shifter blipper. That's a shame. It's alright, this, not bad at all. Like I say, suspension's quite stiff, but I'm sure you can wind it down a little bit. Non-adjustable front. I'm guessing preload on the rear. And literally, I was talking to Stefan, salesman in M&P's, and it was a last minute decision to take the bike out. I was like, why not? I got time. Weather's nice. Let's do 2 in one day. So it's a bit ad hoc. I do apologise. I have scribbled down some info off the internet to give you some details, price, weight, power, etc. as normal. So come to a stop, and we are right. The foot pegs are directly in the way of my legs, naturally, like they often are on most bikes. If they weren't in the way, you can almost flat foot it. It's not bad at all. Bars are reasonable widths, you know, they're not too wide, not too narrow, so I prefer them slightly further forward, but that's just my cup of tea. Good sized fuel tank, you can tuck your knees in underneath, there's plenty of room for longer legs. Usual rear seat's not the greatest. This will probably make quite a nice little commuter bike. Good fun bike, I suppose, on the open road. We will find out. I'm back to my normal test rider, going through Penarth to try out the sort of round town manners, and then we'll go down to Cosmeston Lakes for the walk around and do the more open roads on the way back. This one in particular, cable throttle, activated throttle. Interesting, because normally you don't get different modes without a fly-by-wire throttle, unless that mode is just the adjustments on the dash. I don't know. So let's bang it in eco mode and let's see if it makes any difference. See if I can notice the difference. Be amazed if I can. Yeah, it's quite a heavy clutch. A good positive clunk into gear. It is somewhat on off on the throttle. I can't say I notice any difference at the moment between Eco and Sport. Oh, chuck it back in Sport mode. I can't say I notice any difference between Eco and Sport. I'm presuming that's just dashboard display and not actual riding modes. Thanks for indicating. Now this bike feels very light to manoeuvre around. I push it across the car park. It's not heavy at all. It doesn't feel heavy to ride. So it'd be nice and easy for both experienced and inexperienced riders to manoeuvre around. And with the upright riding position, it makes handling quite nice, quite easy. Chugs along quietly. No issues with riding in traffic, other than traffic itself. Yeah, town manners, lovely, no issues at all. Would make a nice commuter. It's comfy enough, you know, like I say, the suspension's quite stiff, and I do feel a bit locked in the seat. My fat backside's against the rear seat hump and against the, well, the front of me is against the tank. Let's keep that polite, shall we? It is a family show after all. Yeah, you're locked into the seat, so somebody larger than me might find it a little bit cramped. The overall riding position is slightly cramped. I'm sure I get used to it. But it's light handling, it's easy to manoeuvre. Yeah. No complaints so far. Oh, almost to a dead stop before I had to put my feet down. So it balances quite nicely. Gear change is very positive. As I say, the clutch is quite heavy. The gear change is very positive. The only thing I find, maybe it's me not being used to the bike, it seems a little lumpy between gear changes. You know, your on-off throttle is very much on-off. It's not that smooth, unless that's me. It could be me. So as always, I would recommend you get yourself down to M&P's in Cardiff, your local CF Moto dealer, and book a test ride if you fancy one of these. Speak to Stefan. As you go into the main showroom, directly in front of you, you'll see a young gentleman sat behind the desk. Nice guy, Stefan. I call him Baldrick. He can book you up a test ride on this bike and everything else in the range that's available. Right, let me shut you off for a bit because we're stuck in traffic. I'll catch you in a bit. Toodles. Right, we're on the front up Penarth. As you can see ahead, the GoPro doesn't really show it properly. It's quite a steep hill coming up. Now I'm in third gear doing 21 miles an hour, 2,500 RPM. And we'll see how she pulls up the hill. Quite a revvy engine this, in my opinion. 30 mile an hour and 25-30, I expect to be in third maximum. And I would have thought at this pace I'd drop down to seconds come up here, but it's pulling up the hill quite nicely. And it'll carry on pulling, no problem at all. Down to 18. A drop a gear. Second gear, just over 10 miles an hour, not bad at all. With our wonderful 20 mile an hour speed limits around Wales, 20 mile an hour, third gear, no problem at all. Chugging along nicely. No obtrusive or uncomfortable vibrations through the bars or the foot pegs or anything. It did seem to vibrate quite a bit on idle, but then it's a 650 twin, so you got to expect that. Ooh, felt like the ABS kicking in then as I was braking. Very stiff suspension. Alrighty folks, here we have it. CF Moto 450 NX. I suppose its closest closest competitor in a way would be the SV650 maybe. That's a V-twin though. Kawasaki Z650 Versys and ER650 or whatever they make these days. I don't keep up, I've got to be honest. 650 parallel twin, which is 649cc. You get 61 brake horsepower and 56 Newton meters of torque. So I'm guessing it's A2 compliant, I'm not 100% certain. Underslung exhaust, which is very popular these days, not my cup of tea, and I'm guessing you'd have to replace the entire system to change the can. Don't know, but just guessing. So you get a 17 litre fuel tank, which is not bad at all. On the front end, you've got twin discs. I would say 300mm discs. I haven't done proper checks on these yet. I haven't had time. Calipers. I'm not sure what make they are. JL something? I can't tell from here. But they look like twin pot calipers both sides. You got right way up forks, not upside down, which is unusual, non-adjustable. And of course ABS as always, standard ABS on everything these days. Rear, single pot caliper and disc, pretty much standard. Rear suspension, very much like an ER650, Kawasaki Versys 650. Preload only, obviously. 17-inch rims, front and rear. Right, I'm just consulting my paperwork, so I quickly scribbled out earlier. Seat height is 815mm. Doesn't feel that tall. Like I say, I can just about flat foot it, and I'm a 30-inch inside leg. Rear seat, not the greatest. You know, no grab handles or anything. I'm not sure. Oh, there's a space underneath for your fingers, as it were. But I don't think I'd want to be pilling on this, to be honest. tail tidy make it look much better. LED lights all round as always. Pretty much standard on these bikes these days. Nice little machine. Oh, by the way, it's got a curb weight or wet weight, that's fueled up with oils and everything, of 206 kilos. Doesn't feel 206 kilos, in fact it feels a lot lighter. Even manoeuvring it around the yard, it's quite a light and easy machine to manoeuvre around. It's very nice, very comfortable. As you can see again, like most of the bikes down M&P's, ultimate charger is on there. Oh, it looks like the cover's missing. Excuse me. Like I say, no quick shifter blipper. Then for the price range, what do you expect? The question is, what is the price of this 650cc parallel twin that you could pretty much do anything with? You ready for this? Current price, because it's on offer, £3,999 on the road. £1 shy of £4,000 on the road for this. You get a 4-year warranty with all CF Motos. Whole range. As far as I'm aware, do double check these facts and figures. 4 years warranty. So you could buy that on PCP for 3 years, say. Get rid of it before the warranty runs out. You never have to spend a penny on it other than servicing. Not bad at all. Now they all come also with a 4-year, sorry, not 4 year, a lifetime recovery. They do call it something else, CF Moto, but you basically get breakdown recovery for life for free. Life, I presume that's as long as you own the vehicle. Free breakdown cover, not bad at all. And that's quite a thing to give away for nothing, along with a 4-year warranty and all that for £4,000. Can you really argue with that? I certainly wouldn't. Servicing costs, I'm presuming, are not much different to any other model. I don't know what the servicing schedules are. Please do check for yourselves. As I always say on my reviews, please check the facts and figures yourself in case I got them wrong. Don't walk in a shop and say, oh yeah, but this YouTuber told me. I may be wrong. Double check your facts and figures. Like I say, get down to M&P's in Cardiff. Say hello to Steph, or Baldrick as I call him. Nice guy. Have a chat with him. I'm sure he'll sort you out with a test ride and obviously go through any finance figures or pricing and whatever, any deals, Part X's, etc. You need to chat to him. Okay, there's not a lot I can say about this one, to be honest. Nice bike. I like the shape of it. It looks good. I just want to ride the thing now. Yeah, let's get back to riding. Catch you in a bit. Toodles. Right, again, excuse the wind noise. Thank you. I am wearing an adventure helmet, and this is a naked bike. Up to 50-ish miles an hour, no problem at all. The wind blast on me is nothing really. It wasn't turbulent wind, it wasn't uncomfortable, I didn't feel like I was getting pushed off the bike or anything. Just a touch drafty, which I can live with, considering it's a naked bike. I hear a lot of people moan about naked bikes and oh, they, you know, you got to fit a screen and stuff. Well, just buy a bike with a fairing. No offence, it's not complicated, it's not rocket science. If you find a naked bike too windy, buy one with a fairing. Then the problem. That seems to be to me. CF Moto do a 700 MT. Basically this thing with a fairing. Go for that. Yeah, as I say, when I can get up to 40, 50 miles an hour, thank you. The wind blast is not bad at all. I hope the wind noise ain't too bad on the helmet or on the mic. I've got no buffering of the helmet, it's just overall airflow. And in this weather, wearing a mesh jacket is rather nice. Would be nice to maintain that speed for more than 30 seconds, but there we go. Right, we've finally got onto some faster roads. miles an hour. No turbulent wind, natural wind blast as you'd expect, being a naked bike. about 5,500 RPM at 6th gear in at 70 miles an hour, which is quite high. Like I said, quite revvy. But it's doing it fine, no problem at all. Holding the road nice and stable. Bad bike at all. Okay folks, the usual summary. Really good little 650 twin. Ideal for anybody. Very reasonable price. You get a 4-year warranty and lifetime breakdown recovery. Really can't argue with that price, can you? It goes well, does everything it should. Servicing I'm not expecting to be silly expensive because it's a pretty basic model. It looks to me very much like a derivative of the Kawasaki 650 parallel twin engine. So it should be relatively easy to service. No complaints really about the bike. A few niggles I would change myself, but that's my own personal choice. As I always say, this is my opinions on what I think of this bike when I test ride them. Nothing more, nothing less. Definitely a good little bike and worth a visit, I reckon. So, as always, I have to state, for the sake of full disclosure, Mrs. Grumps does work for M&P, the company. But other than the fact she works for them, which is why I get to do these reviews, she has no influence whatsoever over what I say or do with these bikes. When I do my reviews, they are my views and my opinions alone. You know, facts and figures you can check yourself, but opinions and such like, it's just what I think. I really have, as always, got to say a massive thank you to M&P Cardiff. Thank you so much for allowing me to take the bikes out. It really is appreciated. I know it's free advertising for the shop, but it's content for my channel, so I really do appreciate it. Like I say, get yourself down to M&P's in Cardiff. Go speak to Stefan about CF Moto. They are the main dealer in this area. They know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about. They're the guys you deal with for warranties, etc. Let him go through, he'd be waiting all bloody day otherwise. So yeah, of course the classic question, would I buy one? Would I buy the CF Moto 650 NX? Maybe. I've got to say maybe because it's not a bike that's within my range, if you like, or any reason why I would buy one. I have no reason to buy this bike. I would like to have a third bike for various purposes, a sort of road bike if you like, but I think I'd rather go for something classic. So if I was in the market with this kind of bike, yes, I probably would put it in my consideration list. I'm not in the market for one, so on that score, no, I wouldn't buy one. But only for that reason. There's no other reason I would not buy this bike. There we go, that's it. That's my test ride review of this bike, the CF Moto 650 NX. I'm off back to the shop. Go say hello to Mrs. Grumps. Hopefully have a brew. And then it's home for some editing. Oh joy. Folks, as always, please, whatever you're doing, be safe, ride safe and have fun. And of course, the statutory, keep Mrs. Grumps happy. Toodles! There we are, as we roll into the yard. Look at that. Ducatis, CF Motos, Royal Enfields. There's the MT, the faired version, if you want a faired bike. And in there, you probably can't see him on the camera, is Stefan, or Baldrick as I call him. Head in there, go speak to him. Right, I'm off ski. Toodles!